Hey guys, Sabrine here. Thank you all for joining me on this evening. I hope everyone is having an amazing weekend. I've had a wonderful, such an empowering, impactful weekend. Before we get started, please do not forget to like, do not forget to subscribe below, and also please don't forget to share this video with someone else. Also, if you all can do me a favor, please leave a question or comment below. This will help me to better be directed as far as how I may serve you through my vlog. So I really do appreciate if you all take the time and just a brief moment to drop me a comment below or a question. So first, before we actually get started with our series for the day, I want to give a special shout out to Ashley Wiley and Choose Joy, which is her company, and had an opportunity to be one of the co-hosts on today for her Launch and Bloom series #2. And so it was myself and 19 other women, 20 of us total, who had an opportunity to share our time and space, share lunch, share wisdom testimonies with other women from across the city. And so it was an amazing opportunity, and she's just a wonderful person. So Ashley, thank you for creating a safe space for women to come together and empower one another. Second, I just want to go ahead and give you guys a surprise. I am launching, get ready for it, Single in the City. And so what Single in the City is, it's going to be a opportunity for singles from across the city to come together. I'm going to do various vlogs with various singles in the city. I'm going to also be launching a Singles in the City gathering, and actually I'm going to be partnering with Choose Joy in order to do that, and look out for that. I'm going to, of course, put the flyer out there on social media, on my website. You can register and do all those wonderful fancy things. But I'm going to pause there on that because I have to, make sure I give you guys the information in as I get it, and making sure that you all are aware of what is going on. And so I'm really excited about Single in the City. It's really a God-given vision and idea, and I am excited. Cannot wait for the official launch. So I just want to give you guys a little sneak peek. So this first video is going to actually, my video today, not first video, but my vlog today is actually going to be the launching pad for Single in the City. And today I'm going to start a series called Breaking Up with Your Past. I now have been single for 11 years. I have not been in a relationship since October 2007. I've gone on several dates, talked to people here and there, but nothing really have come of it. And so I am enjoying my singlehood. Being single is not a disease. It is not a curse. It's an opportunity for you to find yourself, to define yourself, and to understand yourself. Again, it's an opportunity for you to find yourself, define yourself, and understand yourself. And so in doing that, one of the things I realized, I was one who was actually stuck in my past. And sometimes you don't realize something until it comes up, when you catch yourself saying, oh, the good old times. I remember when. And there's nothing wrong with going down memory lane. What the issue comes in is when you get stuck on memory lane. And so the first thing I want to say today, and of course I've been writing and just taking notes and listening to what God has been telling me, especially about me being, when I was stuck in my past, and now that I'm free of it, I'm excited to share anything, because it's just like I'm not a prisoner of my past, and I am not a person who is stuck there. And so, not being a prisoner. So one of the things you have to always remember is that your past is just that, your past. Okay, it happened back then. Your past does not define who you are as a person now, but your past can be a stepping stone for you to get where it is that you are today, or that where it is that you are being pushed, or where God is taking you. The next thing I wanted to say is that the only time you should consult your past or even look into your past is to measure how far you've come. And with doing that, I remember a lot of times I would say, well, I remember when I was in a relationship with so and so, and I miss being in that relationship. But I didn't realize that I was really missing just that companionship, and which is understandable as a single person. But then I also had to remember, what about how toxic that relationship was? And so being able to measure how far I've came from, that is the only reason why now I will consult my past, just to see how far God has taken me and how far I've grown, how much I've grown as a person and as an individual, how I've grown as a professional, how I've grown as a woman, how I've grown to love Sabrina, of who Sabrina is. Not what other people said about Sabrina, how other people define Sabrina, but just loving Sabrina and loving the person who I am, and loving the skin that I am in. And so Bishop Locke used to say, God does not consult your past to determine your future. And that always resonated with me, because I am grateful that God does not use my past to determine the future. And even when you're going into the Bible, the God said that he threw it into the sea of forgiveness. Like, he doesn't even remember our past. So why is it that we continue to reminisce on our past, continue to be stuck in our past, if God himself doesn't even consult our past to determine our future? If God himself is like, what are you talking about? Every time we bringing it up back and back to God, God is like, what are you talking about? If he has forgiven you, he has forgotten about it. He has let that go. And we need to do that as well. And so, you have gotten over your past when it comes up, but it no longer hurts. I know for me, one of the issues with my past was my relationship with my dad. And I remember when I used to tell the story a lot about, the things that had happened in my childhood and about my relationship with my dad, it was always preceded with a bunch of tears and crying and feeling sorry for myself and pity and being stuck in that state of the victim. And once I realized that I was stuck in my past, I was still stuck in my childhood. I was really stuck on being little Sabrina instead of being grown Sabrina. I was stuck on being a victim instead of being a victor. I had to say, God, I cannot allow my past to no longer hold me bound. And so you have gotten over your past when it comes up, but it no longer stings. Now that I have now when I tell my story, now when I tell my story about my relationship with my dad, first time my dad and I have rebuilt our relationship, and we're still currently building our relationship. Now when I tell the story out of strength. I tell the story out of joy. I tell the story as a part of my testimony, so someone else can know that you do not have to be a product of your environment, nor do you have to be a product of your past. You can overcome your past. And it is an amazing thing to me now that to just look back and see how far I have come, because now when I tell the story, it no longer stings. It's not preceded by a bunch of tears, but it's preceded by laughter. It's preceded by joy, because the devil thought he had me when, I was broken and I was wounded. But once I allowed God to heal me emotionally, mentally, and spiritually, it just liberated me. I mean, it was amazing, to have that freedom, not only in my heart, but to have that freedom in my mind was so, so, so liberating to me. And so another thing I wanted to touch on, when others bring up your past, acknowledge it. Then reintroduce yourself to the new you. A lot of people like to bring up your past, especially family. I love my family, and because your family has seen you since birth to the person you are now. And a lot of people like to bring up your past. I remember when you did this, or you just like that person, or remember when you how you used to do this. I remember when you said this, all that other stuff. And I acknowledge it. I say, yes, I remember when. But let me introduce you to the new me. Let me reintroduce you to who I am today. I am no longer my past person. That Sabrina of yesterday is different from the Sabrina of today. And it was going to be different from the Sabrina of tomorrow. You get brand new mercies every day. You wake up brand new. You get a fresh start every single day. So yes, I acknowledge my past, but let me reintroduce you to who I am today. As of right now, I am Sabrina. Okay, I am not the one that you knew of last year. Even last year, I've changed and I've grown and I've matured because my mindset and the things that I used to do, I don't do anymore. And so I just wanted to leave you guys with this little note since my 10 minutes is running over. Actually, I'm over my time. I just wanted to let you guys know that, again, you don't have to be stuck in your past. God does not consult your past in order to determine your future. Again, use your past to measure how far you have come. And when people bring up your past, acknowledge it. And then reintroduce themselves to the new you. And so do not allow the hurts of your past to continue to plague your present, nor do not allow it to control your future. Because what you don't want to happen is that the tar from the past reproduce itself and become this toxic thing or monster that mutates in you, and you take that with you into your future, and there's no good fruit that can come from it. No good fruit can come from the toxicity of your past. So let it go. Allow God to heal you. Be liberated in your heart. Be free in your mind. And enjoy every bit of your life. I love you. Again, breaking up with your past. This is part 1. We're going to hit part 2 on next week. Single in the City. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope that you got something that you can take away and apply. I love you, and I look forward to seeing you next week. Have a good one.